Welcome, Sagittarius. Welcome to Tarotesque. I'm here to take a look at energies around the overall emotion of love and how things went for you in 2022. We'll take a look at what went well, what perhaps could have gone better. Therefore, what are the overall lessons that this year taught you when it comes to love? So take it as it resonates. This is a general reading. If you're after a personal reading, you'll find all the information in the description box below. I hope you've had a good year, Sagittarius. We'll dive into your energies and see what showed up. When I say love, it can be the overall sentiment of love in different relationships. For some of you, this reading might resonate more from a romantic relationship standpoint. For some others, it might resonate more for relationships with family members or perhaps colleagues at work. So take it as it resonates, but I will tell you when I'm getting a very specific message for a certain situation in your life. But otherwise, let's get started. I'll start by three cards. We've got the Page of Wands, we've got the Tower, and we've got the Seven of Swords. So Sagittarius, and we've got the Ten of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So I feel this year, right, when it comes to overall energies in love, I think it has tested you. 2022 has definitely tested you. I think areas where perhaps you thought you had built something, those things came crashing down. Because with the tower, we often see that whatever is built on a shaky foundation comes crumbling down. And this energy comes in when, and please take this with a pinch of salt. And like, I've definitely experienced this energy. I'm a Sagittarius rising myself, so I can resonate with this. The universe will keep giving you little signs, when we are steering off course. And some of us who are very connected to our spirit guides, or we have worked on our intuitive hits, we'll start to pay attention. But of course, everybody is super busy in life and the hustle and bustle of everything happening. Sometimes we ignore the little voice in our head, right? Or we ignore the gut instincts that we're often getting. And then the universe is left with no choice but to come in and really crash something that isn't working anymore, that isn't serving us. And I empathize because the tower sometimes, also the tower can mean unexpected energy. But I feel like for most of you, this was hard. Like, you found out some major truth. Maybe for somebody in a particular relationship, you found out that perhaps the person that you were dealing with was not being very honest with you. Perhaps they'd hidden something from you, and something came to light which really made you upset, and it kind of shook the very foundation of what it was built on. For some of you, I think this is a small group of you that I'm speaking with, some good news came out unexpectedly. Something that was hidden. Perhaps somebody came forward and confessed to you how they felt for you and that they have perhaps feelings for you. Maybe somebody really took that leap of faith and confessed something to you. But let's go a little bit deeper on that, because this is quite interesting. Show me a little bit more on the tower. Okay. Yeah, I think definitely a cycle has come to a close, a big cycle. And I'm very actually excited to see this because, we're at the end of 2022 almost. I have a feeling that 2023 is opening up a brand new, beautiful chapter in love for you. Because, with the tower, with the world card, something big, something major is shifting in your life, Sagittarius. What's the Seven of Swords here? Got the Emperor. The Tower again. Wow. And the Six of Cups. So, couple of messages. For some people, this could be a big sort of awakening or a big realization or a difficult truth that came out in a work setup. Yeah. And for some people, this could be, dealing with a father figure. So in the family setup, this can mean, perhaps the relationship with your father. Something unexpected happened there and some truth kind of came out, um, or you were strategizing and thinking how to maneuver yourself out of a difficult situation as well. But I think that you decided to take charge of your life. Once this truth came out rather unexpectedly, you decided to, take the reins and like totally steer your life back on track and try to bring it, onto its right path. That's the kind of message that I'm getting here. So I think definitely some challenging things came up for you when it comes to the overall emotion of love in 2022. I think you learned how to close whatever is not serving for you, closing out chapters that really should have been closed out maybe some time ago. Maybe you realized that you were in relationships that felt stagnant, and you took charge of the situation. You got clear. You figured a way out of this energy, which is nice, right? Because at least now you're out of it and you can look forward to something new opening up. And I do think if this was somebody you were dealing with, that you've dealt with in the past, so maybe like an ex came back into the picture, I think that you realize that that didn't really actually work for you. And while you might have thought that it can, that you can give it another shot, I think the foundation on it was built in the first time around was shaky to begin with. So, what perhaps did go well for you in 2022 when it comes to love? Let's see. The Two of Cups, the Ten of Wands again, and the King of Swords. Interesting. I do feel that some of you perhaps felt quite burdened in a romantic partnership. Now, this is more specific for, um, like the romantic sort of the romantic side of things. Wherever you felt burdened, right, or where you felt that this relationship was very taxing, very draining, you spoke your truth. You stood up for yourself. You communicated, kind of like this emperor energy. You learned how to boss up in life when it comes to love, and you decided to kind of either put an end to it, and you said, this is it, I'm closing this chapter, this is too much, it's too difficult for me. Or for some of you, perhaps after you close the chapter on something which had been very draining and very taxing for you, a brand new chapter opened up for you with someone who now feels like a divine counterpart. I feel like things have come back into balance, and you really felt, now you feel like you've met your match, somebody who understands you, who's willing to put in the same amount of energy into this relationship like you are. But I do think for a lot of you, a partnership or a romantic relationship just felt too heavy, too draining, too burdensome. And you were dealing with perhaps somebody who didn't really work from a place of emotion, was maybe too stubborn, too objective, too rational, and you decided to just kind of part ways with this person. And that actually was the good thing that happened to you, because you had to come out of this feeling of lack, always feeling like I'm not good enough, or as much as I put in, I don't get the same feeling back, or I don't feel happy, basically. And you went after your happiness and you said, no, I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not going to stand up for this, because somewhere in you, this Empress energy is starting to come up, where you are now going to attract the right people into your life and not chase. You're growing, you're abundant, you're working on yourself. You've probably, made some self improvements. You've been focusing on your inner happiness. You've done the inner work. And I think that made you realize that, why am I putting up with this? Why am I, disempowering myself this way? Wow, beautiful, beautiful energies here. Okay, so on the flip side, what perhaps then didn't go as expected? I'm guessing it's kind of related to some of this for some of you, but let's see. The Knight of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the Six of Wands. Very interesting energies. I think maybe this was a bit of an on and off situation. Maybe you really tried to make it work with someone, it didn't work out. Maybe you tried again, it didn't work out, because we did see the Tower twice. So maybe it was a bit of like, when you're trying so hard, but it feels like you're swimming upstream, even though you're doing everything that you're supposed to do, you're putting in the time, energy, effort. Well, that's when the universe is giving you a sign that this is just not meant for you right now in this shape and form. You don't know, timing wise, people sometimes work on themselves, change, improve, and then maybe it's a better time to be with this person later on. But I'm not one to like give people like hope that, oh, you should just sit around and wait for your ex to come back or the person that you're with to improve, because fundamentally I think people are who they are and they will change when they have to. But I do think that, you wanted to give it a new beginning. You wanted to jumpstart it with a new passionate start, but it didn't give you the results that you were expecting. And I'm really sorry to see that, Sagittarius. And I think if you were dating, this was some people, who were out and about, like talking to people online, Perhaps, maybe casually dating, or you tried to casually date after this difficult ending, but it didn't work for you. You felt like your heart was just not in it, like, or this is just not true to who you are, Sagittarius. And you know what? Kudos to you. At least you got real with yourself. Most people in the world don't even like accept the truth, or don't even open up to what are they truly feeling, right? So therefore, summarizing all of these messages, what were, wow, three cards, what were the lessons that you learned in love? Very, very interesting. You've got the Lovers, you've got the Fool, and you've got the Two of Wands. Oh my God. This is beautiful energy. You learned how to take a decision and actually pick your own self over giving into things that really were not worth it, if I may put it this way. You decided to take a leap of faith and decided to drop the wands, drop this energy that made you feel so, like, perhaps not worthy, made you feel inadequate, made you feel like you've tried everything under the sun, but it's just not moving, and you decided to surrender. That's the word that's coming into my mind. You decided to surrender to the will of the universe, and you said, you know what? I give this up. I've tried my best. I tried, it didn't work. I tried again, it didn't work. Maybe you tried once again, it didn't work. You are now, surrendering to the universe's plan. This is what I see. The lesson that you learned in 2022 was that you always have to pick yourself first. If you're manifesting a healthy, committed, happy relationship, you first have to become a happy person yourself. If you're looking for somebody who's got, financial abundance, or who's, very accomplished in life, you first have to achieve those things. Like, Gandhi said, like, be the change in the world, right? So be the change that you want to see in the world. I think, I don't know why it's giving me that kind of energy. So please let me know in the comments box if how this is resonating, if it is resonating with some of you. And you are definitely not jaded in love, which is what I love to see. I think that you're willing to take a leap of faith on love again, but this time, you're going to be very clear on how you take the decision on taking a leap of faith on love again. You're going to pick yourself. You're going to make sure that you stay in your own power, and you don't give up that power too easily to someone else, but you're still very invested in the overall emotion of love, which is what I love to see. Like, this energy, while it's been difficult with the tower moments, trying, not working out, you are still hopeful. You know that it's going to work out for you somewhere with someone else, maybe with the same person, but at another time. I think, like, you have realized that love starts from within. I think this is the clear message that you've gotten here. I'm just going to take one more card on the Two of Wands. High Priestess, you've learned how to trust your gut. You've learned how to trust the spidey instincts, because remember, I said that the universe keeps sending you signs, but if we ignore it, then the tower moment comes in and it collapses what is not working for us. So I feel you've learned how to trust your gut. You've learned to drop things that just seem too difficult and surrender to the will of the universe. And you're hopeful to find your divine counterpart soon. So I know it kind of turned out to be quite specific to a bit of a relationship reading, but that's how the messages were coming up. So if this reading resonated, please do hit the like button, and please subscribe to my channel. I will be back soon with your 2023 reading. Take care, Saji. Bye bye.